And I knew Gervonta was going to come for him, and sure enough, that's what he did. Walked right towards him from round one on. But, you know, I remember what he said, and it really, really struck me. Gervonta's a smart dude, bro, and he said you really, really should have waited.
What does the rematch look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter.
I think he shocks the world again. But the only thing different this time is Tank will come with a different attitude, different personality, different motivation. And I think Roach will do good again, but I think Tank will be more dominant.
During a special segment on ESPN's First Take, Stephen A. Smith confirmed what boxing fans have been eagerly awaiting. The highly anticipated rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach is officially set for July 2025. The announcement ends months of speculation and reignites excitement for what promises to be one of the most electrifying fights of the year. Davis and Roach first met on March 1st, 2025, in a blockbuster showdown at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The fight ended in a dramatic majority draw, sparking immediate controversy and debate across the boxing world. One judge scored the bout for Davis, while the remaining two called it even, an outcome that left fans divided and clamoring for a definitive sequel. Davis, the reigning WBA lightweight champion known for his devastating knockout power, entered the ring as the heavy favorite. However, Roach delivered a sensational performance that shocked many spectators. Over 12 hard-fought rounds, Roach displayed masterful technique, slick footwork, and sharp counterpunching that blunted much of Davis's trademark aggression. The razor-closed scorecards only intensified post-fight debates. Some argued that Roach had done enough to pull off the upset, while others believed Davis's power shots and forward pressure gave him the edge. Stephen A. Smith, a longtime admirer of Davis's career and a vocal supporter of Roach's resilience, broke the news with his signature enthusiasm. "I'm telling y'all right now, it's locked in," Smith declared, sending shockwaves through both the boxing community and the broader sports world. Smith further revealed that sources close to both camps confirmed all major contractual elements are finalized. That includes the venue, purse splits, and pay-per-view distribution, clearing the path for one of 2025's most anticipated rematches. With the stakes higher than ever, Davis vs. Roach 2 is poised to settle unfinished business and potentially reshape the lightweight landscape.
You don't have enough experience. You really, really should have waited and took your time before you came to me, and that's what Gervonta Davis told him. And he was right. He was absolutely positively right. And so now here we are, him fighting this cat Roach, and I'm like, isn't this dude like junior lightweight?
Super featherweight, moving up to lightweight.
No, there's no, that bothers me.
While official promotional materials are still pending, industry insiders report that the blockbuster rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach is slated to headline a stacked summer fight card at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Both fighters are said to have already entered training camp in preparation for the high-stakes sequel. Davis is sharpening his tools at his longtime base in Baltimore under the guidance of veteran trainer Calvin Ford, while Roach is training in Washington, D.C. under the watchful eye of his father and head coach. Lamont Roach Sr., the storyline couldn't be more compelling. Davis, the undefeated knockout artist with explosive power and mainstream appeal, faces Roach, the cerebral tactician still carrying a chip on his shoulder after their controversial first meeting. Roach is determined to leave no room for doubt this time. Beyond the personal rivalry, the rematch carries massive implications for the lightweight division and boxing's future star power. Davis, already one of the sport's biggest draws, sees this fight as a key step towards super fights with the likes of Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and even a potential jump to 140 pounds to face Teofimo Lopez. A dominant win over Roach would further cement Davis's position atop the lightweight hierarchy. For Lamont Roach, however, this isn't just about redemption. It's about legacy and generational wealth. His stock soared after his performance in Brooklyn, and he hasn't been shy in voicing his belief that he deserved the win. "I respect Tank. He's a great fighter," Roach said back in March. But the world saw what happened. "This time, I'm not letting it go to the judges. I'm going to make sure the belts come home with me." Following Stephen A. Smith confirmation of the rematch on First Take. Early betting lines quickly surfaced. Davis opened as a slight favorite at -200, with Roach listed at +170, a testament to just how evenly matched their first encounter was. Boxing analysts are already debating the tactical adjustments both fighters will bring. Some expect Davis to cut off the ring more effectively and apply relentless pressure from the opening bell, addressing the difficulties he faced with Roach's jab, movement, and counterpunching. Others believe Roach will double down on his strategy, relying on angles, footwork, and volume punching to frustrate Davis and neutralize his trademark power. Adding to the excitement, Stephen A. Smith hinted that the undercard could feature several marquee matchups, including rising star Keyshawn Davis and a return of all-action brawler Isaac Cruz. If confirmed, the card promises to deliver a full night of action for boxing fans. Smith, known for his deep connections in the sport, also suggested that promotional powerhouses PBC and Showtime Sports are spearheading the negotiations to make this a major pay-per-view event, one potentially on par with the biggest summer cards of the past decade.
The reason why that bothers me is because Gervonta is too great and too skilled to be fighting dudes smaller than him. Gervonta Davis can knock out welterweights. He probably could knock out a couple of middleweights, okay?
In the immediate aftermath of Stephen A. Smith's announcement, both Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach took to social media to stoke the flames of their growing rivalry. Davis, known for his cryptic posts, shared an Instagram story featuring a photo of him landing a punch on Roach during their first bout, accompanied by the caption, Part 2. I'm closing the show this time. Roach, never one to back down from a verbal exchange, quickly fired back on Twitter with a pointed message. Summer 2025. Justice served. The boxing community wasted no time flooding Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube comment sections. Fans debated fight predictions, broke down highlights from their March clash, and speculated on both fighters' training camps. The online buzz reached fever pitch as anticipation for the rematch continues to grow. Prominent boxing voices have already weighed in. Former world champions Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley offered early takes, with Ward describing the matchup as a pure stylistic chess match with fireworks guaranteed, while Bradley called it Roach's career-defining moment. Few expected Roach to hold his own against the undefeated Davis when they first met at the Barclays Center. Yet not only did Roach go toe-to-toe with the WBA lightweight champion, many believe he should have walked away with the victory. A controversial moment in the 9th round still fuels debate. Davis appeared to be knocked to a knee, but referee Steve Willis ruled it a slip. Had it been called a knockdown, Roach would likely have secured a win, marking the first loss of Davis's career. That missed call has only added to the narrative heading into the rematch. Originally rumored to take place on June 21st in Las Vegas, fans have been circling the date in anticipation. But as the month nears and no official promotional materials have surfaced, questions began to swirl about the bout's timeline. In an April 22nd article, respected boxing insider Dan Raphael confirmed that while June 21st had been targeted, the fight will not happen on that date due to ongoing discussions behind the scenes. According to Raphael, the Davis vs. Roach rematch is now expected to take place later in the summer, possibly in July or even August. While the delay isn't a deal-breaker, it does mean an extended wait for fans who are eager to see the unfinished business settled inside the ring. With both fighters already in training and promotional talks progressing, the rematch remains one of the most anticipated events of 2025. As Stephen A. Smith put it, it's locked in. Now, the countdown begins, and the only question left is, who will emerge victorious when Davis and Roach step into the ring again? This time with no room for doubt.
Tank on the rematch. Let me know now. Do you want to fight Tank again? He said he want to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank again?
100%. It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen.
So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Okay. They said he wanted in New York. Do you want to fight again at the Barclays Center?
I want mine, but I love for it to be in DC.
Okay.
I love for it to be in DC.
In late April, boxing insider Keith Idec dropped a revealing report in Ring magazine that finally explained the mysterious silence surrounding the highly anticipated rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. According to Idec, the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas was already reserved for June 21st, the original target date for the rematch. Everything appeared locked in, but as weeks passed with no formal announcement, fans grew suspicious. Now we know why. Tank Davis requested more time. After teasing the bout on social media, Davis ultimately told his team he needed a longer training camp to properly prepare. That decision postponed the fight, pushing it to later in the summer, likely July or August. Given his status as a top draw in boxing, Davis has leverage over scheduling. But the delay speaks volumes. He knows Roach is a real threat that on the All the Smoke Fight podcast, Lamont Roach Jr. gave fans a candid look into the business side of negotiations and addressed accusations that he took the Tank fight purely for the payday. "I actually had a higher offer than the Davis fight," Roach revealed. "It wasn't about the money. I took the fight because I believed I could beat him." Roach wasn't bluffing. In their first bout, he nearly pulled off the upset. And if not for a controversial moment in round 9, many believe he would have handed Davis his first professional loss. In one of the most debated sequences of the fight, Roach connected with a clean jab to Davis's eye. Tank turned away, dropped to a knee, and signaled to his corner. The referee, Steve Willis, ruled it a slip, not a knockdown. Davis later blamed hair grease from a recent styling session for the sudden stop, saying it got his eye and impaired his vision. "I combed my hair 2 days ago and put grease on my face," Davis said post-fight. He added on X, formerly Twitter, "This is what happened, and I can only blame myself. I say no more, but many aren't buying it." Analyst Rick Glazer was among those who called out Davis's explanation. "He didn't kneel because of hair grease," Glazer posted. "He got hit right in the eye. That's why he dropped." Had the moment been ruled a knockdown, Roach likely wins the round 10-8. Instead, 2 judges scored it 10-9 for Davis, contributing to the narrow final scorecards: 115-113 for Davis, and 214-114 draws. Roach later revealed that the New York State Athletic Commission privately acknowledged the mistake. According to him, they admitted the call was wrong, but refused to correct the result. "They told me, yeah, we screwed up, but someone has to take the blame, and it's not going to be Gervonta Davis," Roach said. The Washington native added that referee Steve Willis never issued a public statement. Something Roach said was the most disappointing part. As the conversation around the rematch intensifies, Shakur Stevenson has voiced support for Roach. Speaking to KO Artist Sports, he predicted Roach would win the second time around. "I like Lamont in the rematch," Shakur said. "I've sparred with him. He's a real deal." While fans expect Davis versus Roach 2 to happen later this summer, Matchroom boss Eddie Hearn threw a curveball. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, Hearn claimed Davis might ditch the Roach rematch in favor of a blockbuster showdown with Jake Paul in November. "I don't know if he's still fighting Roach. I know he's fighting Jake Paul in November," Hearn said, "and maybe Shakur after that." That bombshell drew immediate backlash from fans. While some are intrigued by a crossover event, many believe Tank should be facing Roach or Stevenson, not Jake Paul.
Did you see the Gervonta Davis Lamont Roach fight?
Yeah, that was trash.
Well, I thought it was a good fight. You didn't think
Great
it was...
fight, but I just champion guy taking a knee, talking about greasing his hair.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm like, yo, how you just in the middle of the fight just go wipe your face?
Also, here's the deal: if you take a knee, that's a knockdown.
That's a knockdown. It's a track 2, right?
You got hit with a jab.
Yeah.
You took a knee.
And then you walked off.
Exactly. That is a knockdown.
Yeah.
So I think they're reviewing that right now.
Nah, that guy should have lost maybe.
Well, I feel like if they do review it and they do judge it as a knockdown, which was clearly a knockdown to everybody.
While fans await official word on the rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., several of boxing's biggest names have started speaking out, including unified welterweight champ Terrence Crawford, who didn't hold back during his recent appearance on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp. Crawford admitted he was just as baffled as anyone by the controversial moment in round 9 of their first fight. The moment where Davis took a knee after a Roach jab, only for the referee to stop the count. "I was just as confused as you," Crawford told Sharp. "I said, huh? I was just like, oh, that's crazy." And Steve Willis is a great referee. He started counting, Then they said, hey, you better stop counting. When asked directly if Davis deserved the win, Crawford didn't hesitate. I don't think he won. Without the knockdown, I thought it was a close fight, but I'd give the edge to Roach. He fought a great fight. Tank fought well too, but I think he was overconfident. I don't think he took Roach seriously. The buzz surrounding Davis versus Roach 2 continues to grow, with reports confirming that both sides have agreed to terms and an official announcement is expected in the coming weeks. But not everyone thinks the fight will happen right away. Concerns are rising that Roach might be forced to wait, as Tank Davis is reportedly in talk for a possible crossover bout with YouTube star-turned-boxer Jake Paul later this year. Still, fighters like Rolando Rolly Romero, who was stopped by Davis in the 6th round of their 2022 clash, believe Davis will come out on top in a rematch with Roach. I take Tank, Romero said in an interview with The Ring magazine. I think he'll make the necessary adjustments. Ryan Garcia, who lost to Davis 2 years ago in one of the most watched fights in recent boxing history, also weighed in on a possible rematch. I got Tank, Garcia told ES News. I think he'll put it in a different gear this time. He thought it would be easier than it was, thought Roach would fold. And he didn't. Now he should expect a harder fight. I think he wins the rematch. Garcia, still motivated to avenge his loss to Tank, is reportedly eager for his own second chance. But first, he has another rematch to focus on, against Devin Haney later this year. Their original bout ended in chaos after Garcia tested positive for clomiphene and was disqualified, receiving a 1-year suspension and a hefty fine exceeding $1 million. The scandal shook up the lightweight division, and Garcia is now to redeem his name. Bradley also sent a message to Davis. If this don't motivate you, Tank, the fact that you had a draw, I don't know what will. Your name's getting dragged through the mud. A lot of fans who used to ride with you are switching sides. You've got a lot to prove, not just to them, but to yourself. As summer 2025 approaches, the lightweight division is heating up. The rematch between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. promises to be one of the most anticipated bouts of the year, if it happens. With whispers of a Jake Paul fight in the background and fighters like Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney vying for spotlight, Davis has options. But if he wants to silence critics and reclaim his dominance, Roach is the man he needs to face. For now, all eyes are on the official announcement. Stay tuned. We'll keep you updated every step of the way.